Indiana Attorney General Todd Rokita, along with 23 other AGs from various states, have signed off on a letter to President Biden. They asked him to reverse his COVID-19 vaccination mandate. Under this mandate, businesses with over 100 employees must get vaccinated or submit to weekly testing. Zeke Torres sat down with Rokita today and joins us now with more from the Attorney General. Zeke.
Well, Mike, whether it be a vaccine mandate or even the state of elections, a lot has been discussed and implemented across the nation. I spoke with Todd Rokita on if or when Hoosiers may see changes. As the push to get more Americans vaccinated continues, President Joe Biden is mandating businesses with over 100 employees to get a shot. According to the CDC, over 180 million people are fully vaccinated. Denouncing this initiative is Indiana AG Todd Rokita, saying people should have a choice.
It is exactly about freedom and about liberty, and the idea that we know how to take care of ourselves and our families much better than Joe Biden or any of his bureaucrats do. That's the whole essence of what it means to be an American, and certainly a Hoosier, and I aim to protect that for all of us.
Rokita and 23 other state attorneys general, including Ohio and Missouri, are calling on the president to reverse his mandate or face potential lawsuits.
I am not going to allow some politician or some bureaucrat to put their judgment in between that of the citizens and taxpayers of Indiana.
Awaiting approval from the Senate is a bill aiming to change voting procedures. One change made by the John Lewis Voting Rights Act is states will need to notify the public when changing voting practices. However, Rokita says Indiana already has effective election laws.
Why would I want to throw that integrity out of the way when voter confidence is at such a low after the last election? We need to do things that are going to encourage people to vote.
For more on my interview with Attorney General Rokita, visit our website, mywabashvalley.com. Mike.
All right, thank you, Zeke, for that report. Tonight, Indiana State University welcomed Soledad O'Brien to Tilson Auditorium. She talked about the power of young people changing the world. O'Brien is an award-winning journalist and founder of The Powerful. It's a foundation that funds college tuition and expenses for young women. Her goal was to really connect with the students and to share her experiences while working in the field during the pandemic. O'Brien says she hopes students can recognize their strengths after such a challenging time.
Really challenging, but now all these things that I have access to have grown, and I hope that people have the mindset of that. I don't want to diminish any of the stress and the challenge. It's been a crazy 18 months, but what do you take out of it? What do you learn from it? How do you grow from it? How do you move forward from it?
And to see a list of other upcoming speakers at ISU, go to holmancenter.org.